What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stages of your life. Family, man, we have to grow up emotionally. Man, we have to grow up spiritually. This is going to be rough for some of you, and it's probably going to trigger some of you. And, you guys already know that's not the intent. The intent is to help us grow up emotionally and to help us grow spiritually, to help us understand where we're at and our lack of growth and development, to help us understand where we're at and our lack of healing. So, man, talk a lot about, the power that you have on this platform. And most of us grew up in environments and families and relationships to where we didn't believe that we had any power. We grew up believing that we were powerless. And so here on this platform, it's all about, man, healing and taking back our power. Okay, learning to love ourselves and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna read this and we're talking today about, man, the power that you have. Not just the power that you have, that you're magical. You are magical. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. One fear or doubt planted in our mind can create an endless drama of events. One word is like a spell, and humans use that word like black magicians, thoughtlessly putting spells on each other. Every human is a magician, and we can either put a spell on someone with our word or we can release someone from a spell. We cast spells all the time with our opinions. For an example, someone gives an opinion and says, look at this girl. Look, this girl is ugly. The girl listens, believes she is ugly, and grows up with the idea that she is ugly. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is. As long as she has that agreement, she will believe that she is ugly. That is the spell she is under. And the trip is, man, I'm reading from this book right here, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. On this platform, I get attacked by all these religious fanatic Christians. Oh, you shouldn't do this and da-da-da-da, and you're da-da-da. And people don't understand that, man, your words carry power, and they only carry power to those that believe it. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. Your words carry power, and I've shared so many times my story, my experience as a kid growing up in a Christian household, and how these people were so demonic. Even though they're quote unquote Christians, all they talked about was Jesus. Jesus was the answer for everything. But yet they had me convinced that I had the devil in me. Yet they had me convinced that I was stupid. I was dumb. They had me convinced as a little kid that I was going to die an early death. They had me convinced that I was going straight to hell. They had me convinced that I was bad. And it wasn't that they were on drugs or anything of that nature. They were hardworking Christian people. You know what I mean? But they didn't understand the power of their words. They didn't understand that they were putting me under a spell. They were speaking a curse over my life. And I spoke about this plenty of times in the past. We get so caught up in, we say this person's a witch because they're doing crystals. This person's a witch because they got tarot. This person's a witch because, they read energy or they feel energy or whatever the case may be. And we never stopped to, wait a minute, time out, wait a minute. How many people go to church? How many people sit there and quote the Bible all day long and listen to hymns, and they speak negativity over other people's lives, not understanding that they're putting a spell or putting a curse on that person? We're going there today, and it's going to get rough. We got to grow up and understand, wait a minute. You're a magician. You're speaking curses over somebody's life because you said that they were ugly. You said that they were stupid. You said that they were too skinny. You said that they were fat. Whatever it is that we do, anytime you speak against somebody's life that is not in alignment with God, universe, source, the most high, you are speaking a curse over that person's life. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. We've got to grow the fuck up. I'm gonna say that again for the slow ones. Anytime you speak against somebody's life, or anytime you say something about somebody's life that goes against the will of God for that person's life, you are speaking a curse over that person. Anytime you say something about somebody's life and it's not in alignment with the will of God, you're speaking a curse over them. I don't give two fucks how many doctor degrees you have. I don't give a fuck how many billions and millions of dollars you got saved up. I don't give a fuck what your title is. You're a fucking magician. There you are. You just don't know that you're doing black magic. You're doing black magic. And we get so caught up into the voodoo and the hoodoo and all these other people who's using candles and all this other stuff to put spells and curses over people's lives, not even understanding. And again, I'm not a Donald Trump fan. I don't give two fucks about any of the politicians. But anytime you start speaking against that person, Donald Trump ain't shit, and that my motherfucker, and we got all this stupid shit to say about him and Sean Combs and all these other motherfuckers in Hollywood and in the industry. We got all this negative shit to say about them. We got all this crazy shit to talk about other people's lives. Your opinion, your words is a spell. That's why they call it spelling. You have to spell it out. It's a curse. And the problem is, you reap what you motherfucking sow. We get so caught up in these motherfuckers is trying to curse me, and these motherfuckers are always trying to attack me, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's something that God had to show me about me. You know what I mean? Because I was always that victim mentality. Man, life's not fair. These motherfuckers always coming at me and da-da-da-da. Fuck these sorry ass motherfuckers. These motherfuckers ain't shit and da-da-da-da. And I'm saying all this shit, and God's like, time. Enough of this shit. When you gonna grow the fuck up? When you gonna understand that, wait a minute. I know you're not meaning to attack these people. I know you're not meaning, and you're not really meaning this shit, what you're saying. But the reality is you're putting this negative, toxic shit out into the universe. You're saying something negative about somebody else's life, whether you deem it true or not. You're speaking ill against somebody else's life. You're speaking ill over what somebody else has done. You're expecting and demanding everybody else around you to be perfect, even though you know your toxic ass ain't fucking perfect. You want to crucify everybody else for their fucking mistakes, their character defects, all the time, while minimizing and justifying yours, saying that you're covered by grace and God's not finished with you, and God's working on you, and your work in progress, and all this other bullshit you use to justify your fucking imperfections, while demonizing and castrating everybody else, just because their imperfections is different from yours. You self-righteous, ignorant ass motherfucker. This conversation God is having with me. You're speaking a spell over these people's lives. And I had to grow up. And I had to remember what it was like being a kid and having all these religious, intolerant motherfuckers saying all this shit up against me. As a little 5-year-old kid, as a 6-year-old kid, they saying all this stupid shit. You're going to hell and da-da-da-da-da and all this stupid shit. You're stupid and you're dumb but it is what it is. I had to remember what that felt like. I had to remember, how did that make me feel? If I didn't like that as a kid, why would I turn around and do that to others? I'm no different than my family members, my relatives, that was speaking curses and spells over me. You have the power to speak life or speak death. Use your power wisely, because I promise you, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. How do you speak life? You encourage others. You uplift others. You plant seeds of love and hope and inspiration. Yes, you can challenge them to be a better version of themselves without criticizing them for being who they are. We've got to grow the fuck up. We got to understand the power behind our words. And God showed me something. Hitler was a great speaker. A great speaker. And because Hitler had the ability to speak well, the bullshit that he spewed divided his country. The bullshit that he spewed, just talking, kicked off a major war. Because of the bullshit that he was saying. Power of words. How many women, how many guys are in prison now? How many guys have died now because women have said some shit? Power of words. Words cut like a knife. We got to grow up. We got to understand that, man. And that's what the Bible says, man, the power is in your tongue. The words. Every time you tell yourself you're stupid, every time you tell yourself you're dumb, every time you tell yourself you're ugly, every time you tell yourself you're broken, you're crazy and you're losing it and all this other negative shit, every time you say that, you put a curse over your own life. Every time you say you'll never be happy, you're putting that curse over your life. Every time you say, I'm always going to be alone and nobody's ever going to love me, and you're putting that curse over your life. Every time you say, my kids ain't shit, you're putting that curse over their life. Hope and pray that says something to encourage you, to inspire you, to even challenge your way of thinking. We have to grow a family. I love you guys. Thank you for rocking out with me. Happy healing. Peace.